Welcome to Coffee with Keesja. That's Keesja with a K and Coffee with a K. I'm your host, Keesja Gofers, and this is the first episode, the premiere episode of the show. Coffee with Keesja is three things. One, it's a virtual coffee with me and Water Polo Australia alumni and current players. Two, there's a different topic every episode. So the guests that we have on, they'll have worked in, they still might work in, they've dabbled in, or they just know a crazy amount about the topic that we're talking about. Number three, it's fun, it's relaxed, it's highly entertaining, so buckle up, let's get started. Today's topic is education. And our first guest today is the men's assistant coach and has been for the last two Olympics. He's also a former Australian player and a former teacher. It's our Western Australian resident, Paul Oberman. Welcome, Obi.
Hey, Keesja, how you going?
I'm good, how are you?
Very well, very well. Lovely and beautiful outside here in Perth. Lovely weather.
Well, no one can get there, so it's good that you let us know. So our next two guests, they play together in the women's national team. They are also both gold medalists from the 1986 World Championships. They teach together, or they work together, and they coach together. Their daughters also play together and are friends. These two are a shining example of Water Polo Australia alumni connection. Welcome to Amanda and Swete Kelly.
Hello.
And also they're wearing a wonderful outfit as you can see, getting into theme. Our final guest is Townsville's shining light. You might see in the background here an article of Elle. But Elle is a bronze medalist from the World Championship, the most recent World Championships. She's also a current Tokyo squad member. She's also a teacher. So welcome to Elle Armit.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. So we're going to jump straight in. The first question for today is, what drew you to education?
Oh, I'll go first. I think what drew me to education was an experience with children at a primary school. When I first started doing community recreation, when I was training quite heavily for the Australian team. I just loved working with the kids, and so I decided to go down that path, and I've loved it ever since.
For me, it was probably more, I was doing some learn to swim teaching when I was about 14, 15 years old, and just really enjoyed, teaching the kids, helping the kids understand, helping the kids learn. And I've always said that the best thing about teaching is seeing the great big smile on the kids' faces when they succeed. It's just fantastic.
Really, water has really gone full circle. So you swim teaching to teaching back to water polo coaching.
Yeah, definitely. So my earliest coaching experience was actually coaching the Triton A-grade ladies when I was only 18 years old. So there you go. Way back.
And Amanda, what about you?
I don't think it wasn't my first choice to do, but after I finished my first degree, I went jillarooing for a year, and during that time I sort of was trying to decide, and it was actually a case of I need to do something in a year. So I did a graduate diploma, and there was a job at the end. So that's how I got into it, and
I never looked back.
Never looked back. Loved it ever since. Yeah.
Wonderful. Elle?
Well, when I was kind of deciding my career's path through high school, I thought I would be a really great doctor. However, my grades did not agree. So I went along still the health path I did a dual degree of exercise movement science and education. And there was a moment there where I thought I was going to drop education and just do exercise movement science. But then my mother, Swete, talked me around and told me, you better bloody not drop education. So I didn't. And but I haven't looked back, actually. It's been a really successful, loving career path. And as Obi says, the best thing is when you see the kids succeed and when they have that aha moment and they click, and it's just like, oh, I'm getting through them.
Awesome. Okay, so when you, maybe not for all of you, but you were student athletes yourselves, So either studying at school or studying for university. And I guess a lot has changed in the world recently, but what do you think, how has it changed from when you were an athlete as a student athlete?
I think as when we were young at university and probably at school, we had quite a broad sport experience. So Kate and I were both playing netball and water polo, and I'm not suggesting that you need to focus on one thing, but we had quite a range of interests outside water polo, but we were actually able to. I think where we were in our late teens and early 20s, the pressure on people to, devote to water polo or any sport now is fairly narrow. So if athletes can pursue either tertiary study or even a small job or something like that, I think that you need a distraction outside the sport. I think that was good for me.
Yeah, it was for me too. I agree. I think, and looking at our daughters too, because they played to Australian level, not to open, but and I think that's the big challenge today. That it's a 20, it's a 7 day a week commitment, water polo, if you're wanting to play at the elite level, and I can understand that. But we definitely had a little bit more scope to do other things, and not saying we didn't train hard, we trained very hard. But yeah, just a different climate. I guess I'd just say, you've got to follow your passion, definitely, but give yourself some time to look at other things as well. Yeah, I agree, totally. Yeah.
From a completely different standpoint then, I was really fortunate that I was at the AIS when I left high school. And, at the AIS you had to either study, work, or, go to TAFE or something like that. And, teaching seemed to be the thing that fit well with me. And, again, really fortunate that we had the capacity by Charles and Don and the AIS to, help you get into university to start with, but also then work with your weekly schedule to sort of make it fit into when training times were. So yeah, realistically for me, I wasn't able to have that dual sport or, those other opportunities, but I was on that one pathway, successful and happy about it. But one of the things if anything, I certainly give the advice to the kids today that even if they are playing water polo, whether they're, playing professionally overseas or here in Australia, even during this time of COVID, you've got to have something behind you. You have to have a degree. You have to have not a teaching course, but a TAFE course or something that's sitting there waiting for you when water polo finishes. Because realistically, unless you're really fortunate, water polo is not going to pay your way in life. And you really need to be able to access that. Could be as soon as possible, could be through injury, could be through, early retirement, who knows, many different reasons. But, definitely, and that's one of the things I stress to the athletes here at Waste is now to say, you need to have something behind you. You can't just do water polo 24/7.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, look, I'm unfortunate that, I had my career got cut short by, 2 years. I went through the glass window, but, I was really fortunate. Yep. Finished my teaching degree and walked straight into a teaching job.
Yeah.
So, that, and, family to support, wife to support, those sorts of things. So life still carries on. And I think as soon as you can, not cross over, but, work out what the new pathway is for yourself, then, it becomes slightly easier for you.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's why, doing the alumni stuff that I'm doing is actually so interesting, because, a lot of people have to at some point realize that water polo isn't going to pay the bills. And so we go off and we do amazing things. And so it makes it's like what I'm doing really exciting, because there's just so much so much that people are doing out there. And it is because, you know, potentially you could say, oh, water polo, I wish it was a professional sport, or I wish I could get paid like an NBA player. But if you look at how diverse, you know, the water polo alumni are, it's actually something pretty amazing. And okay, in saying that, I still want to be paid like an NBA player, but it's pretty cool.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think that I know with my teaching career, I think my water polo background really not got me positions, but I think they respected that, you know, that we trained hard, and that we, you know, when they asked you, they were very interested in the athlete side of your, you know, career. And I think future employees really appreciate that too. They know that you can timetable, that you can, you know, still work hard and study. So I think I'd be saying that to the future up and coming, you know, it's going to be a benefit, if anything, towards your career.
Yeah. I'd totally agree.
Yeah.
We, Kate and I, coach teachers. We work a lot with teachers, and really our focus is on student outcomes. So I think our competitiveness in that space,
we are not competitive,
actually is a little bit hard for people to cope with sometimes. But
just a little.
No, it's actually it actually drives us a lot. So we actually, you know, it might be Joe Smith, and we're looking at him, and we always are looking at how we can push him along, not the teacher, the child. So we're always looking at how that teacher can get the best outcomes for that student. So I think that we were actually just speaking about that with our boss the other day, that that's something that actually lives in us a lot, that competitiveness.
Yeah.
And she likes that. Yeah.
I'd also agree that it helps you. There's a lot of alumni out there, and you can reach out, and there's always a water polo contact somewhere, you know, all over Australia, that can help you get kind of where you want to be. And like, for example, I reached out to Maury, and then I got a job at Newington. So it's that aspect of it as well is always also really handy to have the alumni there. But I'd totally agree with what Kate said, is that they always ask about the water polo side. And like, they are just shocked at how we managed to get to training and then to work and then back to training, and they just want to know the insides and outsides. And so they're just like, they know that you're going to be on time, you're going to be prepared, you're going to have everything there.
You have those key qualities and key characteristics of, you know, commitment, dedication to the task. They know you're going to follow through. Ellie, I'm interested to know from you, did you, when you were overseas playing, did you, you know, partake in some study as well while you were playing professionally?
Yeah, definitely. In the beginning I didn't, and then I got very bored, so I did. I took on a TESOL course, so like teaching English as a second language. And the second time I went over, I believe I was studying my religion degree then, my religion certificate. But yeah, I definitely looked to do something, because as a professional player, obviously they expect you not to work because they're paying you. And so then I had a lot of time on my hands all of a sudden. So yeah, I definitely got busy then and doing stuff. It's the perfect time too.
And being from the men's side, when you go overseas, it's normally obviously end of term, end of semester, those sorts of things for those guys for those girls who study. How do you organise your exams and things like that?
For when I was studying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, and all the credit goes to the elite athlete liaisons within the uni. I banked on them kind of going into bat for me a lot, and then when that didn't help, the ones at Swiss kind of kicked up a notch and went into bat for me. So then, you really need to have the main thing is that we got extensions on our assignments, so you have that extra time because you don't have, you only have a certain amount of hours during the day. And the exams, kind of are catered towards you, so you do them before or after you go.
Yeah, you're lucky, because we didn't have anything like that. We just had to work at it ourselves, which was fine because we didn't know any different. But I think that's a real positive now that the athletes are so supported in that way. Even down through the unis, like Gnomes is sports liaison officer at Griffith, isn't she?
she's
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah.
So, and she really looks after the athletes there. So, yeah, no, I think it's fabulous. Yeah.
That's great chat. But the next question was actually, what has your playing career, like what skills have you taken from your playing career into your professional career, which the ladies have already answered. So you've gone above and beyond, gone past the syllabus in teacher talk. So I'm going to flip it off Ovi. Ovi, what you were a teacher, and now you're back into water polo with the coaching. So what has teaching brought back to your water polo career?
Oh, planning and programming.
All the exciting stuff.
Seriously, it's I mean, you plan so much when you're a teacher and program so much. I mean, being a primary school teacher, you taught everything from A to Z, every subject, and I mean, loved it. I was, what do they say, master? What is it? Something master of none.
Jack of all trades,
Jack
master
of all
of
trades, master of none. That's the one. Well done, Amanda. So you taught everything, and you needed to know where you were situated, and so I really enjoy right now the planning of the program, the planning of the year, working out when we're going to be doing extra man drills here, there, what swimming looks like. That's one big thing that I've taken out of teaching.
Ovi, did you find that like we work a lot around feedback to students, and I find that when we're coaching together, that really comes through in our coaching. So did you find that, because your knowledge of feedback would have been good through teaching, did you find that helpful in giving feedback to athletes?
Certainly, there's certainly aspects of feedback that I think people have to learn to understand, and that's that constructive criticism. I don't know that as an elite athlete, we all want to be the best we can be, obviously, and sometimes it's really hard to understand that constructive feedback. And whilst you can persist at it sometimes, I think it's not always taken with the good nature of what the coach is trying to say to the athletes. Sometimes it's really good actually to have another coach come in and not say it the same way, but saying it slightly different, different words, whatever it might be, and the athlete goes, "Oh, that's what you meant." So feedback for sure as well, but for me it's just been the planning. Really understand the year and the cycles and the phases and macro cycles, micro cycles, the whole works. Just to make sure that you're doing the best thing by the athlete so that they are prepared.
I would say that it also brings to your foremind that every child, every athlete learns in a different way, and I just think that gets thrown out the window when you are coaching water polo. Sometimes you just forget. You just verbally explain things and that, they're going to understand, and not every child learns that way. And so just understanding that you need some visual aspects, you need them to practice it themselves and to get through it themselves. So I think that for me, learning that and then going back into coaching water polo has been very helpful.
Yeah, that's really important.
What about Ellie? Has teaching helped your water polo playing career in any way?
That's a tough one. I guess
patience.
And learning to
when
deal with different people. When she tells me off,
it's like I'm a student. That's what it is.
But learning to deal with different personality types, I guess, and like being very explicit in instructions and explaining and things. I think a lot more about things before I let them out. I think that's come from my teacher side.
And you'd probably be a really, I think you probably don't realise what a good help you would be to younger players too. Like, you'd have that understanding of how to not treat, but work with younger players. Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. What have you guys all enjoyed about education? I know that Obi and Ellie said the ding ding moment when they reach a goal or achieve something. Explain more about that maybe, or something completely different.
For me, it's been about always being a learner yourself. So, I mean, Kate and I, in the last probably 5 or 6 years, have done a very big shift in professional learning, and not a shift, a upward motion in professional learning. And I think at our age, that's kept us in the game. Young. Looking amazing.
Yes.
Very
You know, and it's great to go to work, and you're not doing the same thing all the time. So looking at, like I mentioned before, looking at different ways to work with teachers, to work with students for the best possible outcome. And, you know, that feedback cycle for us has been a really important tool, and we've used it. We've had some really great results with that at our school. So I think the learning has been the big thing for us.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, and I don't think you can ever stop learning. Like, you know, we really try and look for best practice, and like you do in coaching and water polo, you know, the best to get the best possible outcomes. So I don't, and I know Amanda doesn't either, like just tread water. I can't stand doing that. I like learning and putting things into practice. So yeah, and it's fun working together.
Analogy used there, considering the topic.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, goalie.
And that's all they do.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all they
work.
Do you guys think this is? We'll get back to Obi and Ellie in a sec. Do you guys think because you play together, like your relationship and your effectiveness at work is, you know, you've just had this whole experience through life where you've had to rely on each other, you know, in the pool. And I mean, I might be putting words in your mouth, but do you think that at work it's like you've just got this, you know, really great relationship, working relationship?
Yeah. I know it's a bit weird that we're in the same office. Everyone goes, what? Yeah. No, totally agree. Like we know how each other works, and it's, you know, and we've got such great memories too. Like we just laugh a lot, and you know, it's great. Great.
We also went to school together.
Yes, that's a sad thing.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Did you go to grammar? I didn't know.
Very sad.
They were born in the
sad.
same hospital.
No.
They live next door to each other.
Yeah. So, no, it's great.
Yeah.
I love that. All right,
I'd like to add on the back of what I was saying about lifelong learning is that I find as a casual teacher, I love being a casual teacher more so because I get the broad range of subjects. And it is things that I'm not used to or that I'm not trained in. And I get to, the kids almost teach me what they're learning. And even just sitting in the staff room and talking with the other teachers and what they're learning, what they're doing. Like even they could teach me something, a method to use in my class that they're doing in theirs and that type of thing. So I love that aspect of it, that you're always picking up things from different curriculums and different strands and stuff.
Yeah. So it's got a lot to do with you feeling a bit uncomfortable, being in a bit of a pit, and you know, I think that edge makes you, and because you want to be able to do it, that will be in your nature. So you become a learner straight away.
You'll be competitive like us.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
It's certainly also picking up on what you girls have said as well. When I first started teaching, I was teaching in a 4-5 class, and the room next door was also a 4-5 class. For whatever reason, they split the 4s and not just had 1 4 and 1 5. And my first year was just learning from the other teacher, and I just really enjoyed. I mean, she was very English based in all her teaching, English language based, and I was very the maths side of things, and I just learned so much from her in just ways of manipulating different situations of, you know, how you can get I don't know, what would you say, out of English, you know, different writing styles, different ways of producing the same result, but it actually suited, you know, the kids the best. I suppose the best example I can give is when I was teaching at Aquinas here, and we had, again, working with another teacher, we had a unit on World Cup. And, you know, this is Soccer World Cup going back a number of years ago. And I had a class of jocks like literally I had 28 or 29 boys that were just sports freaks, and one kid who was a computer genius. And the other class, they were sort of probably a little bit mixed. But the way that the guys in my class responded, they probably couldn't write a story if their life depended on it. But if you put them down in front of a newspaper to read something about the sport, or for them to put them into the situation of being the reporter, to then write what it was that they were thinking about, those sorts of things. I think that was really important. We had one kid there that really didn't enjoy reading books. And so we found he loved comics and cartoons. So that was the way for him to read and to get better. From that very first teacher, I learned so much about, the different ways of how, like Ellie said, different learning styles, but how you can still have the same result at the end of the day.
Yeah. Mm.
Now that's the end of the questions I had. So if you want to jump in with any other things, feel free, but otherwise we'll do the rapid fire. So the point of the rapid fire is quick answers. The first thing you think of, the first one we're going to start easy, and we'll start with Ellie, and then we'll go Amanda, Kate, Obi, and then we'll reverse the order. Just everyone, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So first one, really easy. What is your coffee order?
Easy, strong almond flat white.
Oh, do I have to answer the same question?
Yeah, sorry, same question. Everyone gets the same ones. There's only three.
Skinny cat.
Double shot flat white.
Just a normal flat white.
Okay. Next one. Obi, you're starting. What is your go-to karaoke song? First thing you think of.
Yeah. Got no idea. Oh, We Are the World.
Oh dear God. Oh my God. I have no idea either.
I'll buy you some time.
Sing a few bars. Give us some time.
You gotta sing the song.
We went to Japan, and the Japanese men's coaching staff with the Australian men's coaching staff singing "We Are the World" at this karaoke bar. It was fun.
I bet.
Oh, what was that one we did in Hawaii all the time? I'm passing. I don't know. Sorry.
Well, you can't pass. Yes, I can.
Is it me?
Oh, your turn.
Mine would be "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen.
Oh,
that's
that's
a
a
good
good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I was going to go on the lines of ABBA.
Oh.
Anything from that Mamma Mia soundtrack.
Yeah, good one, Ellie. Yeah, we're with you.
We're with you on that.
Thank you.
We know the moves.
Yeah. Show us.
Okay, last one, but we're going to have to think of another one for Kate, I reckon.
Okay.
Pass. You're not allowed to pass.
All
So
right.
the next one.
ABBA, I like ABBA too.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. We'll start with Ellie. Which TV sitcom would you star in? Existing.
Existing. So it has to be on TV.
You can come up with the storyline, title, and other characters of your own TV sitcom. Go ahead.
Not that creative. I don't know. One that's on TV right now. I don't watch a lot of TV.
On Netflix, or MASH, Seinfeld.
Oh, I would be. There's a show on.
That autistic.
Man, I couldn't even tell you what it's called now. But it's about these young professional girls that work in a fashion industry, and I love that. And they have the best time. You guys should watch it. I'm gonna figure out the name of it.
Yeah, right.
We could say Friends.
Okay, great. Yep. Ellie's going to be in the fashion executive show.
Of course you are, Ellie.
Ellie, of course.
They have the best time. It's like Sex and the City.
Okay, what about Sex and the City?
Yeah.
That one. That one you know the name of.
No, this one's way better.
Okay. Amanda?
I would like to be on that one where, the guy who's a bit weird,
Big Bang Theory.
That one. Yeah. I
like that one. I'd probably say Friends. I love Phoebe in Friends.
Oh, nice.
You know, where she sings all those songs, those weird songs.
She'd be the cat.
Yeah.
That's like
Smelly cat.
that would be a karaoke song.
That could be my karaoke song.
Done. Well done. Okay, Obi, lucky last. What TV sitcom?
Easy one. Cheers. So,
Yeah.
Where everyone knows your name.
Ted Danson. I have always wanted to own a pub and run a pub.
It's called The Bold Type, guys. Get it? Write it down, The Bold Type. You'll love it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Is that the name of your show, Ellie?
No, that's the name of the show that I want to be a part of. It's a real show on Stan, I think. on Netflix. Yeah.
The Bold Type.
Yeah.
Right, checking it out tonight.
It's a series for you and Mark to watch there, maybe.
So funny.
Not the bold and the beautiful, Ellie.
No, it's called The Bold Type.
Yeah.
God, I couldn't be a
We
part
all
of
need
that.
the poses.
I'm not
and the
dramatic
bottom.
enough for that.
Yes, she is. Yes. Just kidding. All right, guys, that wraps it up.
Yay.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. I hope you guys had a good time. I actually learnt a lot, and I kind of want to be a teacher too.
So
Thank you.
much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Keesja.
Lovely to see everyone.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well done.
See you, Paul.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.